Providence Television International, the game changer, taking you to the outer limits of television.
Welcome to the program Thoughts and Visions of Dr. Emmanuel Egariva on Providence Television International. With me in the studio is Dr. Emmanuel Egariva. You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much. This is a program that we started over a year ago. Yeah. It's beyond, and we thought we could come on this time around to discuss a subject that is so crucial to the well-being of Nigerians. And I think that our viewers will stay with us.
Exactly. And that topic that we're going to discuss is poverty in the midst of plenty. And I'll start first of all by asking, Doctor, where did this all start? How did we get here? Because you were born into a Nigeria that I believe you met, it was a land flowing with milk and honey. And then this is the situation that we found ourselves.
Well, it is difficult to even fathom the reasons, based on the fact that there have been many governments all over. And I believe that we got to where we got to at the beginning of the civilian administration, okay? Not just this one, the civilian administrations that precede this present administration. I mean, you can imagine what the country was like when even Abacha was around, the amount of goodwill that we had in terms of the ability to purchase certain things, okay? Fuel was cheap, transport fares were affordable, there was housing. In fact, there was so much housing during the military regime, for instance. But the civil administrations, I thought there was a backlash. And that's where we are. It's a pity that we are going to discuss this subject because it's coming at a time when Nigerians are reeling with pains, serious pains. And our leaders don't appear to know what is going on. There's a total disconnect between our leaders and the people. There's hyperinflation. For instance, we have a scourge of diseases all over the place. People are dying from insecurity, and so there's a displacement of people from their habitats, natural habitat. So those are the issues. But I think we must discuss on the basis of the fact that we must give meaning to poverty. Poverty, we know it's a severe lack of basic human needs, like clean water, food and shelter, with limited access to education, healthcare, and a safe standard of living. These are some of the indices when you're talking about poverty. And it's so prevalent in this country at the moment. People are homeless, many people are homeless. Many people suffer from very poor standard of living. Water is scarce in very many places across the country, particularly in the north. And there's an outbreak of all kinds of diseases, particularly in the northern parts of Nigeria. And again, if you add all of this, again, I keep using the word scourge of insecurity, then we have a very big problem on our hands. And as a matter of fact, I have often said it's a paradox, actually, when you're talking about Nigeria vis-a-vis the kind of people we have. Nigeria is a rich country, peopled by poor people. Very rich country, but peopled by poor people. And it is obvious, I mean, even from statistics. Right now we have about almost 130 million people in the poverty web. And that is not a small number at all. It's not, by any standard.
On this, before we go on, in one of your books that was talking about leadership, you talked about one of the tenets of being a good leader is that you must have compassion for the people that you lead. And so, would I be right in saying that the level of poverty is rising because the leaders do not have a certain level of compassion for those that they are leading? Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, of all the indices of good leadership, compassion is at the bottom. It weaves all of that together, okay? Because you are in government for the people. Yes. There's nobody who can say that he's in government, who can rightly say that he's in government for himself. No, that would be wrong. Yeah, but you find that many leaders in Nigeria are probably just there for themselves, whereas you're supposed to be there for the people because, first of all, the people put you there. So basically, you must look at them from the point of compassion. What do they want? And unfortunately, the needs are very are small when you talk about Nigerians. And the question to ask is, why can't the government provide water, for instance? Why can't government provide good health facilities? Why can't government provide employment for the people? These are some of the issues we must look at. Why can't government provide housing for the people? Because I do know, and our pictures clearly show this, that many people are living in squalor, abject poverty. They cannot access food, they cannot access good health facilities. You will be shocked that some people hardly feed once within a given day. So it is what they call in the local parlance 001 or 010 or something. That means once a day. Even that once a day, it is terrible. It is terrible. And it's telling on many different households across Nigeria. So our leaders must empathize. And I think the word really is empathy. You must empathize with people and try to put yourself in their position. If the people are poor, it means that the government is poor in terms of thinking. All right? So we must look at this from a very wide prism and try to checkmate some of those things that bring our people into odium.
All right. As we were talking earlier, you made use of the word disconnect between the government and the people. So that means there are sycophants out there. They don't really tell the leaders what the people are going through. Or is it that the leaders know and they just decide to be purposely wicked, as the case may be?
Well, the leaders, sometimes they know.
Okay.
Yes, again, out of impunity, they don't care about what happens to the people. But most times they want to pretend that they do not know. Okay, and so the people around them, I mean, fortunately, they have been in government, and I think the people out there, whether the highest level or perhaps even at the states, ought to tell the leaders exactly what is happening outside. Okay, our leaders should go out of their cocoon once in a while and check what is happening. Okay. Yes, I look forward to a day when governors will go out on the streets and or the filling stations or marketplaces and find out exactly what is happening. Most governors in this country will be booed when they go to marketplaces. Why? Because the people are living in very poor conditions. Okay. They have been assailed by all sorts of things. You know, hyperinflation, as I mentioned earlier. You cannot buy things. You cannot. I mean, if you are on 100,000 a month in this country, that's just a living wage, below a living wage, for instance. Because the landlord will take his own bit. Definitely. The transport fares will be there, health facilities or health medical care will be there, tuition fees for children. And there are many people, many children who are dropping out of school because their parents cannot pay school fees anymore. All right? And these are all indices of poverty, which we find in this country. Now, but against the backdrop of the status of Nigeria, that again is an irony. Because Nigeria is a rich country. We are rich, in fact, excessively rich, over-blessed by the good Lord. We have everything in this country, starting from the weather. We have basically everything in this country that should make a nation wealthy. Is it forest resources that you're talking about? Is it arable crops that you're talking about? Is it good land for farming? We have virtually everything in this country. But unfortunately, you cannot harness, and I think that's the big problem for our leaders. You cannot harness the potentials that we have. I'll give you a typical example, for instance. How can we be talking about lack of foodstuff or low-level foodstuff? For instance, I've been to Okomo. I've done one or two things for Okomo. Okomo is a typical farm settlement. There you have all kinds of plants for the people, and you have housing, you have schools, you have all sorts of things. So it's a settlement. Why can't we have 6 of such settlements across the country based on a geopolitical arrangement? Because the land is arable. Okay, and we have land in abundance. And to create job opportunities. When you have, we did that at Edo College in those days. We were studying agriculture. When you have a farm settlement, you have all kinds of food crops. Yes. Yes, in farm settlement. You have housing for the workers. You have schools, churches, and things. So they will settle there. And then you have the crops like rice, like beans, that can grow within a very short period, even yams. Within 5-6 months, you're harvesting some of these things. And you can have because the land is there, for crying out loud. Why can't we? Why can't we feed ourselves in this country, for example? How can we be buying a bag of rice for maybe close to 100,000 naira? Just doesn't make sense. For a country that has so much arable land that God has blessed us with, it just doesn't make sense at all. And first of all, again, we must tackle the issue of security.
Okay.
There is no country that is truly sovereign if you cannot feed yourself. No. You cannot say you are a sovereign nation if you cannot feed yourself. No, you cannot. You cannot rightly say that. And unfortunately for us, all these resources are there at our beck and call. There is no major mineral resource in the world that you cannot find in Nigeria. 7 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, who would have thought that gold would be flowing in Zamfara State, for instance? 10 years ago, who would have thought that we have oil in Oria or in Edo State? Tell me. So we have all of these things, but we cannot harness because we have wrong people in the right places.
Wrong people in the right places.
Yes.
And so when it comes to managing economy, do you think, because so many people have postulated that, why can't we develop us? We have economists. Why can't we develop us? Like something like in Burkina Faso, he's not depending on the young man. He's not depending on the international. No, he's doing it his way. He has his own. And so my question is this. The levels of poverty today, could the IMF still be blamed for being part of the problems that has caused this level of poverty?
Of course, they want to make you get into this kind of entanglement, okay? And we must extricate ourselves from all of this. I mean, there are many countries that are not tied to the apron strings of the IMF. With the kind of resources we have, why must we be tied to the apron strings of the IMF for the World Bank, for example?
Okay.
No, we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. Why must we go and borrow it? Yeah, because if you borrow, you're tied to the apron strings of your creditor. I mean, that's the normal thing anyway. So, but once you do that, it means that you cannot really be called a sovereign nation in the strict sense of the word. So what I would say is we must produce what we eat and eat what we produce. Production is the thing. We must produce. Yes, we must produce. Once we produce basic food items, poverty will be reduced to a very large extent because in any case, there will be so much for people to eat. Food is a basic need of man. Food, shelter, clothing. Food, number one. People are hungry in this country. They are very, very hungry. I mean, if you go to the streets, people will tell you, nobody is smiling.
Exactly.
Yes, nobody is smiling. You need to know what people are saying about different governments in this country. It is appalling. It is terribly appalling what people are saying. They heap curses on our leaders, you know, and that's the truth, really. We must tell ourselves some basic truth. And let those people who are working in government, they should learn to tell the leaders the truth. They are not telling the leaders the truth. Yes, you must earn your pay, but in the process of earning your pay, you must be honest with what you are doing. I mean, in any case, you must declare your resume. I've often said that. I said that in one of my books. You must every leader must declare his resume. What that means is you must not speak from behind a veil. Let people know where you stand in relation to their needs. Yes, in relation to their needs. The people need water, give them water. There's disconnect because look at our leaders, they're living in opulence. In the midst of poverty. Poverty in the midst of plenty. Yes, why must Nigerians be poor? There's no reason why Nigerians must be poor. And there's no reason too why must they be called why the Nigerians must be called poor people. No, there's no reason whatsoever. Yes. And there's no reason why we should be the world capital of poverty. No. It's a bad reputation. It's terribly bad reputation.
It's really, really annoying. I'll go back to that point that you mentioned, that our leaders are living in opulence. So that means there is this total disconnect. But then when there is this disconnect, you mentioned wrong leaders. Why they're wrong leaders is because they're not compassionate. They do not have these principles of leadership. And that brings me down to our institutions like INEC. Before you can get the wrong leader, definitely the INEC should be to blame for bringing in these leaders. Are you in line with me? Are you of this same thought?
It's part of it. I mean, because I've often said this, that once the wrong people come into leadership, there's already a disconnect. The wrong people. And the wrong process. Once the process spins up the wrong people cannot govern effectively because they are there for some very primordial reasons, which are far removed from what should be the main intention of governance and leadership. That's one of the problems we have in this country. And there are many good, let me say this, there are many good people in this country, effectively good people, who can lead us out of the mess which we often find ourselves, at the local government level, the state level, or whatever, once the electoral process is badly flawed, then it throws up the wrong people, and the wrong people cannot govern well.
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's total disconnect. There's no synergy. Yeah, look at the kind of cars our leaders are riding in the midst of poverty. Yes, look at the number of cars in a convoy, in a typical convoy of a leader in this country. That will tell you that they are not in tune with what is going on. Because you see, once the people are suffering, you must suffer with them. That's what the good Lord Jesus Christ told us. You must empathize with the people. And the Bible says, when the right leaders are there, the people smile. The same Bible says, when the wrong people are there, the people groan. That's the word. They groan in lamentation, in pain, in misery. Yeah. They groan. And people are groaning in this country. Our leaders refuse to say it. Okay. Yes. They are living in a fantasia, you know. They refuse to see it because there's no synergy between the leaders and the led.
Okay. So if we were given quite some time to rule this country, what would be the first steps that you would take to be able to reduce this level of poverty in Nigeria?
It's easy. I'll tell you. Look at 4 things. Okay. 4 basic things. First of all, we must tackle the issue of electricity. Number 1. Because once you fix that, there will be jobs for the people. Okay. Right? You must tackle agriculture. There must be food for the people to eat. And there are many avenues by which you can do this, really. All right? You must create means of employment, industrialization. Look at Taiwan, look at Singapore, look at all the big countries of the West. Industrialization. A single industry can employ about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people. Yes. Agro-based industries in this country, and of course, naturally, you must provide security. Okay. Yeah, because our boys and girls are running away from this country because of these 4 things. They cannot get electricity, and allied to all of these, good roads. So if you provide all of these things, Nigeria will be a safe haven for everybody. And it is easy. Okay. It is easy for people to provide this, but because they look inwards, rather than being in tandem with the people, that's where the problem is. Yes. Okay,
well, you talked about electricity. Could you please harp a little on that? We know that for now, the federal government, as regards Aso Rock, is away from the national grid. You are on your own. And so how do you think that electricity would ever get better? Because it's part of the things that are making Nigerians poor. So how do you think that Nigeria, or do you ever foresee that the level, our level as regards electric
let me just cut in there. Yes. Why can't our leaders go to South Africa and ask questions? Okay. Why can't they go to Morocco? Okay. Yes. Why can't they go to Ghana? There's no shame in it. Bring these people in. Well, how did you do it? Okay. Yes. Okay. I mean, it is not insurmountable. For instance, I mean, the issue of electricity, and it's not jinxed. Let's not make any mistake about it. Electricity supply in this country is not jinxed. We carried it on the news about a couple of days ago that the dam in Kaduna is breaking down. Yes, exactly. Yes, they are throwing banters at each other. That's one government against the other. One is saying, no, there's no problem. The thing breaks down tomorrow and you have a problem. Why can't we? I mean, there are many sources of providing electricity in this country. There's hydro, which is water. There's gas. Okay. For instance, these major ones, okay? And then, of course, we can also have windmills. I've often talked about this. We can have windmills, particularly in the north, when you have arid land and space, okay? So, but these are issues. Okay. These are issues that we can look at if there is altruism. Okay. And what's altruism? Selflessness. Look beyond yourself. Okay. Look beyond yourself. And look at the interests of the people. That must be uppermost on the minds of our leaders. When you look, and in any case, what does a leader need? What does a governor need? What does the president need, for example? Tell me. There is no, and I've often said this, there is no governor in this country who was never a multimillionaire before he became the governor. None, not one. Yeah. Not one. Can quote me anywhere. Not one. Because you know what it is to get the position of governor in this country through the electoral process. Yeah. Why must you now put your hands into the public till, for example, against the poor, against people who are poverty-stricken? Why? Why must you? Don't you see that countries that are doing well around the world, they pay special attention to the poor? Yes. Yes, that's why you cannot really talk about a big, huge population poor people in advanced countries. Because a lot of things have been laid out for them to move out of the poverty web.
All right.
And we can do that.
Okay, we'll go into politics just before we round up. There's this issue that's been going on for some days between one of the presidential aspirants and the president of Atiku and Tinubu, as regards the issue of removal of subsidy. And if we remember, it was when, during his inaugural speech, where President Tinubu actually stopped the issue of subsidy. That's when the sufferings of the people heightened. And so from your own point of view, because one other individual said he will go back to subsidy, what do you actually think as regards this issue of removal of fuel subsidy?
I want to be as plain as possible so that we don't confuse our viewers.
Okay.
Because some of our viewers do not understand the
dynamics
and the mechanics and all of that. You remove oil subsidy because you imagine, or you told us that the outflow from this removal of subsidy will be made beneficial to the people.
Yeah.
And that is what everybody is talking about. Yes, we have removed subsidies, but we are still borrowing. We are still borrowing, which is an irony, really. We are still borrowing. And the thing does not percolate to the people. I mean, I should imagine that once you remove fuel subsidy, the fuel price will come down considerably.
Yes.
And Mr. President announced on Inauguration Day. Yes, and it became law. I mean, that's what the presidency is. The president says something, virtually becomes law. The next day, the price of fuel rose up. That's where we're still in today. The current price now is about 1,300.
Exactly, yes.
People have been so battered, they don't even have the voices to cry out anymore. That is the tragedy of the situation. They are tired of speaking. Yes, the Nigerians are resilient. I mean, they can absorb all kinds of things. But you see, Nigerians should not be afraid of their leaders. The leaders should be afraid of the people. Yes, that's what happens. That is what should happen naturally. But our leaders don't care. They don't care. Even at the state level, they don't care. I mean, they do. I look at governors all over the place. It's the same principle.
Okay.
They don't care. Okay. How many governors have interfaced with people? Say, okay, let's have a town hall meeting. For example, let us ask the people, the organized private sector, market women, labor movements, the students, and all of that. What exactly are your problems? How many governors do that on a regular basis? How do you not interface with the people? Okay. That's even better. What of our National Assembly people? They have what they call constituency offices. Sometimes those things are bare.
Yes.
Empty.
Exactly.
Whereas that should be the place where they interface. If you go to some of their constituency offices, they are empty. Yes. That is, we see it, they're all over the place. They are empty. Okay? So that means there's no pact. Leadership and followership is a pact.
Okay.
Yes. You must establish this relationship as a pact. And a covenant. A covenant is an agreement that cannot be broken.
Exactly.
So it must be a covenant. The people are poor. Poverty stares leadership in the face in this country. Let's face it. Poverty in this country. It stares people, leaders in the face. But they turn the other way. They turn their faces.
Our leaders are still telling us, presently that the economy is doing well. What is the
listen, if it's doing well, it must show in the standard of living. It's doing well. Boys and girls are young, little children are dropping out of school. The economy is doing well. 130 million people are now in the poverty web. The economy is doing well. People cannot afford 3 square meals a day. The economy is doing well. People are dying of malaria. They cannot buy drugs. I'm not even talking of the other illnesses like diabetes and the rest. Yes. People are dying of malaria. Okay? Infant mortality is on the increase. Doctors will tell you. All right? If the economy is improving, it must show in the living standard of the people. It must show. It's not something to hide. And the people must applaud. How many people are applauding governments all over the country? Yes. How many people? They see, go to a filling station. And a friend told me the other day, he drops his car, he uses it maybe once or twice a week. Okay. But he told me that, look, anytime he's buying fuel, he heaps curses on our leaders. Anytime he's buying fuel. He walks somewhere on Saple Road. No, he stays on Saple Road, and he walks out to Ukbawo. Okay. That's a distance of about 15 kilometers. 4,000 there, 4,000 back to buy fuel. That's 8,000 to and fro.
Yes.
All right. He jumps into public transport. That does not remove the pain.
Yes.
It doesn't, because you are still going to pay.
Yes.
Meanwhile, he has a car.
Exactly.
So the car has now become useless to him.
Yes.
I should have thought that because of the increase in fuel price, transportation will be cheap and more affordable. But you can't. You can't afford it. So we're in a fix, we're in a dilemma, and I hope the government will do everything in all of this.
All right. Just before we go, in your time, like I said before, it was the land flowing with milk and honey. If we want to get back to that kind of time, what do we put in place?
Yes, I've just told you. I mean, my time, I was born into a country that was working for its time. I mean, you could afford anything, really.
Yes.
Yeah, what the big man was eating, you could eat. I remember when I was on level 9 in service, my salary, I think, was about 300 naira at the time.
Okay.
I would go to Leventis. My 2 hands would be filled.
Wow.
I would buy things. Yes.
And you have not expended your salary. That's just part of
The salary, well, you can't finish it. You can't finish your salary. The salary, the next one will come and meet the current one. Look, people are paid at the end of the month. By the 20th, salary is gone. So you are waiting, praying. That's where people even fast more. They pray and fast. No, this salary should come as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Yes. Because the old one, the current one has been expended. So you are waiting for the other. But in our time, the incoming salary will meet the current one. So you are in buoyancy.
There will be the tendency for you to save.
Yourself, yes, you are in buoyancy.
Yes.
Cement was about, at that time, cement was probably about, when I was building my house, I started with about 22 naira a bag.
Okay.
I finished at about 40 naira a bag.
Okay.
So you could build houses even for your bigger salaries. I understand cement now is over 12,000.
So yes.
How many people are going to afford that?
Exactly.
And yet the housing system has crumbled. Yes. There are no housing schemes in this country, let's face it. Yes. And the little salary you can, how many bags of cement can you buy from a salary of 100,000?
You've not bought rice yet. You've not bought beans.
Those are.
So you're not thinking of cement.
So there is no hope.
No.
To have shelter over your head.
Presently.
Yes. There's no hope. Our savior, or our saving grace, is that we have boys and girls in Europe. But they are also feeling the pinch.
Exactly.
Yeah, because there are so many mouths to feed. They're also feeling the pinch. Oh, they send $50. Sometimes you change it, go to an area here in Benin, you change it, and you're in good weather. If that stops, the crime rate in this country will be unimaginable. I'm telling you, the crime rate, that is just our saving grace, and government does not realize that. Yeah, if there's a little hiccup in inflow of money from Europe and elsewhere, we're in trouble.
Exactly.
We are in very serious trouble. That's what is keeping us on at the moment.
Let us actually hope that doesn't happen. God has a way of providing. Well, for the leaders, I believe that they watch such programs. They should actually know that the people are suffering. They are not finding it easy in any way. On this note, the CEO will be taking his parting shot.
Parting shot will be the fact that we're approaching the Ember months. Okay? And of course, you know what Ember months stand for. They stand for safety on the roads and all of that. We showed something a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Road crashes.
Yeah.
Yes. Road crashes. And road crashes happen more during the Ember months. People are hurrying. I don't know where they're hurrying to, doing all sort of things. But even at that, we should be more careful. I mean, we're still in the rainy season. The roads are slippery.
Yes.
Right? Rains are falling in torrents. So we must be very careful. All our motorists should be very careful to avoid crashes on our road. Let's keep our roads safe.
Thank you so much. And for you out there, viewer, please do not forget to tell your friends and family about Providence Television International. Do have a wonderful day.